We are going to start with listening as usual, and I believe we are going to do test 7 today. So let's start with listening. For test 7, section 3, which is on page 40. Okay. Here we are going to listen to a dialogue, and we need to find the answers for the questions that we have right here. Where do you think you can find the answers in this dialogue? When we are listening to the dialogue, where do you expect to find the answers?
Between two words and another. So you have to actually focus and not get the answer by a fluke.
Usually you find the answers after linking or transitional words.
Finding words.
Linking or transitional words, like particularly the words that refer to the result. Particularly, expressions,
Especially,
express results. What are the expressions that express results? Can you give me examples of these expressions that mean the refer to result?
especially,
A word like especially, maybe. Yes. What else?
Weigh everything up.
notably,
Something like summing up.
notably,
Notably, yes.
on the other hand,
Okay. Something wrong with it. On the other hand, words like therefore,
consequently,
something like that's, or I mean,
consequently could be a word.
consequently, that will be, and so on. So while listening, try to focus on these words because they will guide you or indicate the answers for you. So
Missed.
Yes.
Notably was with an A, not an E.
Notably with an A, not an E. Let me write that again.
Notably.
Okay. Anyway, let's read the first question here. And again, while listening, always concentrate on or be on the lookout for the linking words that particularly these expressions that refer or indicate the result of something. For question 21, that's what point does Robert make about 2013 study in Britain? Here, it's a dialogue between Robert and somebody else. And we need to find what point does Robert make about that 2013 study in Britain. That's for question 21. For question 22, the speakers agree that food waste reports should emphasize the connection between carbon dioxide emissions and on what? For question 23, the television program now tended to focus on. For 24, for Anna, the most significant point about food waste is, and for 25, Anna and reporter decide to begin their presentation by what? That's the first part of section 3 in the listening. So ready for listening?
Part 3. You will hear two students discussing a presentation they are going to give. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25.
Hi, Robert.
Hi. Sorry I'm late. I was just printing off some pages about food waste in Britain.
Do you want to include Britain in the presentation? I thought we were concentrating on the USA.
Well, it is a global problem, so I thought we ought to provide some statistics that show that.
Fair enough. What did you find out?
Well, I was looking at a British study from 2013. It basically concluded that 12 billion pounds worth of food and drink was thrown away each year, all of it ending up in landfill sites.
What do you think the answer is?
C.
Yes, food and waste. I said food and drinks were wasted, so that's for letter C.
If
Go
you
on.
don't want, just give them to me. Why waste them?
Excuse me?
If they didn't want them, why not give them to me? I won't mind.
Okay, they will do that next time. Just to focus.
Over 8 million tons. And that wasn't including packaging.
An incredible amount.
Yes, and they were only looking at what households threw away. So there's no information about restaurants and the catering industry. But one thing the study did investigate was the amount of milk and soft drinks that were wasted. And I think it was probably quite unique in that respect.
Interesting. You know, in the other European reports I've read, there's one thing they have in common when they talk about carbon dioxide emissions.
I know what you are going to say. They never refer to the fuel that farms and factories require to produce the food and the carbon dioxide that releases.
Exactly.
C.
C?
Yeah. No, I mean A. Sorry.
The food production, yes. They are talking about the process of producing food and the vehicles they use, and machinery and the vehicles they use to produce food. It makes it produces carbon dioxide.
We could really cut down on carbon emissions if less food was supplied in the first place. To my mind, the reports talk too much about the carbon dioxide produced by the trucks that deliver the fresh goods to the shops and take the waste away. They forget about one of the key causes of carbon dioxide.
Absolutely. If the reports are actually going to be useful to people, they need to be more comprehensive.
Who do you mean by people?
Well, the government, industries, people making television programs. Have you seen any documentaries about food waste?
Not that I remember.
My point exactly. These days, they all seem to be focusing on where your meat, fruit, and vegetables are sourced from. We're being encouraged to buy locally, not
Where food is sourced from.
The origin of food products. B.
That will be the origin of food products.
from overseas. That's probably a good thing, but I'd still like to see something about waste.
Yes, it's the same with magazine articles. It's all about fat and sugar content and the kind of additives and coloring in food, but nothing about how it reaches your table and what happens after it ends up in the bin.
Well, we've only got 15 minutes for this presentation, So I think we'll have to limit what we say about the consequences of food waste. What do we want to concentrate on?
Well, I know some of the other presentations are looking at food and farming methods and what they do to the environment. So I think we'll avoid that. And the fact that in some countries, people can't afford the food grown on their own farms. That was covered last term.
Okay, we don't want to repeat stuff.
What concerns me above all else is that in a recession, governments should be encouraging business to find ways to cut costs.
Above all, in a recession, government should be concentrating on
C.
What B? C.
Yes,
No, B.
the economic effect. The economic effect. Do you know the meaning of the word recession? A
Economic.
recession. What's a recession?
Oh, it's like receding or decreasing.
Decreasing of jobs and work. Decreasing of jobs and work. It's like when a time when business is down, many people cannot find proper work or money. So she's discussing the economic effect of food waste.
Apparently, supermarkets in the USA lose about 11% of their fruit to waste. That's throwing money away.
All right, we'll focus on that problem. It should get the others' attention anyway. Now, how do you want to begin the presentation? Let's not start with statistics, though, because that's what everybody does.
I agree. How about we give the other students a set of questions to answer about what they suspect they waste every day?
I'm fine with that. Probably.
I'm fine with that. What's the suggestion here?
Holding out a questionnaire, showing images of waste.
Handing out a questionnaire, yes. She said they are going to give students questions to answer. Give other students, and he said, I'm fine with that. So handing out a questionnaire, letter E, that's the right answer here.
Be a better option than showing pictures of landfill sites. It'll be more personalized that way.
All right. Now let's start.
Now listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
Okay, shall we now have a look at the projects that different researchers and organizations are working on?
For me, the project I really liked was the one at Tufts University. You know, where they've invented tiny edible patches to stick on fresh foods that show you what level of bacteria is present, and so whether you can still eat it.
It's a great idea, as it tells you if you need to hurry up and eat the food before it goes off. The other good thing about the patches is that apparently they'll be cheap to manufacture.
Good. Then the other thing I thought was great was the Massachusetts...
Before we move to the other one, the edible patch.
G.
Stick.
Yes, it was. She said something cheap to produce or cheap to do, so it will be letter G. It will involve very little cost. Then she will talk about ripeness sensor.
Institute of Technology project.
I hadn't seen that.
Well, they've developed these sensors that can detect tiny amounts of ethylene. Ethylene is the natural plant hormone in fruit that makes them turn ripe, apparently. The researchers think that they can attach the sensors to cardboard boxes, and then supermarkets can scan the sensors with a portable device to see how ripe the fruit inside is. That's got to be a quicker way to check for ripeness than...
That's got to be a quicker way to check something.
time. Save time. A.
It's a safe time.
Yeah, it's
Taking
A.
each box off the shelf and opening it.
Definitely. And I thought that Lean Path was worth mentioning too. Their waste tracking technology means that caterers can see how much food is being wasted and why. That'll increase profits for them eventually.
Yes. And did you read about 0%? They've produced this smartphone application that allows restaurants to set.
Before we talk about smartphone applications, waste tracking technology.
It will personal responsibility.
It will it will make money for them because it will be beneficial for them.
I did not see make money. I thought it was.
It will make money. It will be beneficial financially, be beneficial for them, so it will make money for them. By the way, take care of letter F. Letter F is misprinted here in the book. Do you see letter F? It should be here.
Okay, sure.
So for waste tracking technology, that it will make money for them. Now they are talking about smartphone applications.
And donation alerts to food charities. The charities can then pick up the unwanted food and distribute it to people in need.
What do you think smartphone talking about it, charities and people, they need food?
It will benefit local communities.
It will benefit local communities, yes.
In the long run, that'll definitely benefit poorer families in the neighborhood. No kid should go to school hungry.
I agree. And I read that quite a few local governments in the USA are thinking about introducing compulsory composting in their states. So you can't put any food waste into your rubbish bins, just the compost bin.
Well, I guess that means a bit more work for people. I mean, they have to separate the organic and inorganic waste themselves before they take it out to the compost bin. And you know how lazy some people are. But I guess if we all start composting, then we'd be doing something positive about the problem of food waste ourselves, rather than relying on the government to sort it out. Having said that, not everyone has a garden.
What do you think food waste composting?
It will create new jobs.
He spoke about the role of people on helping government finding a solution or limiting that problem. He said everyone or all people, everyone will have something to do.
It will create new jobs.
No, everyone has something to do. It will encourage personal responsibility. That will encourage personal responsibility because he asking people to do something to help the government to get rid of this problem. Okay. Now, section 4.
That is the end of part 3. You now have 30 seconds to check your answers to part 3. Part 4.
You will hear a lecture about Maori kite making. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Well, good morning, everyone. As you know, we've been looking at different kinds of art and craft that were practiced by the Maori people of New Zealand, at least before the Europeans began to arrive in the 18th century. So, the focus of this lecture is kite making, how the kites were made, their appearance, and the purposes they served. Well, let's start with the way they were made. As with other Maori artistic traditions, kite making involved certain rituals. So, firstly, only priests were allowed to fly and handle the largest, most sacred kites. There were rules too, for the size and scale of the kites that the priests had to follow, and during the preparation of both small and large kites, food was strictly forbidden.
What was not allowed? What was strictly forbidden? Food, yes.
One question. How are kites sacred? Man, kids make them out of...
Yusuf, I told you several times, just to be to the point and to concentrate on what we are doing. It's not, these exercises are not for discussion. This is not for expressing opinions or discussion. This is for doing a test for Ielts. So please, let's be focused.
Okay.
The first one is food. Then for the second one, often represents, the second for 32, represented a bird, a god, or a space. Let's listen.
In terms of appearance, kites were frequently designed in the image of a native bird, or a Maori god, and sometimes, perhaps less often, a well-known hero.
And perhaps less often, a well-known
hero.
Hero, yes.
So it's a hero.
Hero, yeah. Asking one word. Had frames that were decorated with grasses, decorated with grasses, and what's the other thing they used to decorate kites? Listen.
You can imagine that when Maori first arrived in the new country, in New Zealand, it may have taken some time to find suitable materials for their kites. But through trial and error, no doubt, they found plants and trees that provided bark and even roots that they could use to make the frames and wings of their kites. And after the frame had been constructed, the kite then had to be decorated. For this, the priests used long grasses, and these, when the kite was in the air, would stream along behind it. They also used a variety of feathers to add colour to their creations. Well, all this meant it was easy to see a kite in the sky, but you could also hear Maori kites.
Okay, could you get that? It was very difficult to get.
Feathers.
Feathers, yes. Yes, good job.
It's easy.
Okay, good job. Feathers. And then he's going to talk about the noise which that kite made. And what's the reason for that? They had a line of noisy space attached to them. Listen carefully.
They could be quite noisy indeed. And this was because some priests liked to hang a long row of shells from the kite.
Like to hang a long row of?
Shells.
Shells attached to them.
You can imagine how they'd rattle and clatter in the wind, how they might completely capture your attention. As I said before, the most common image was probably a bird, and that's the same for other kite-making cultures. But the kites were designed in particular shapes. So, there were kites that were triangular, rectangular, and also shaped like a diamond.
Or
diamond shape.
Diamond, yes. Move on. Had buttons from clay mixed with space oil.
Some of them were so large it would actually require several men to operate them. Some of the kites were also covered in patterns, and to make these patterns, the Maori used different pigments of red and black, and these were either made from a charcoal base or from red-brown clay which had been combined with oil obtained from a local species of shark.
Oil.
Sharks.
Oil obtained from local species of shark.
Sharks.
So that shark's oil.
Now, before I forget, if you have a chance, do visit the Auckland Museum, because they have the last surviving Birdman kite on display. This is the kind of kite that has a wooden mask at the top of the frame. It's a mask of a human head, and you can clearly see it has a tattoo and also a set of teeth. Quite impressive. And
A set of? Had a tattoo, a set of
Human head?
teeth. A set of
Human exists.
human head with a set of teeth.
good example of Maori craftsmanship and symbolism. Right, turning to the purpose and function of the kites. They certainly had multiple uses. Primarily, the flying of kites was a way of communicating with the gods, and when the kites rose into the air, the Maori used them to deliver messages.
Sending or deliver
Messages.
messages.
Perhaps requesting a good harvest, good fortune in war, a successful hunting expedition. So these kites were incredibly valuable to a community, treasured objects that one generation would pass to the next. People would also fly kites for other reasons. For example, to attract the attention of a neighbouring village. This was done when a meeting was required between Maori elders, a convenient method indeed.
What was required? What was required here?
Convenient messages.
Meeting. When a meeting was required. When a meeting was required. Meeting here was necessary. Necessary is a synonym for the word required.
And finally, when it comes to war, there are traditional stories that describe how when a Maori warrior found himself surrounded by his enemies, a kite could actually provide the possibility of escape. The kites were powerful enough to take a man up
The possibility of enemies were coming.
Escape.
Escape. The possibility of escape.
into the air, and for this reason, they could also be used to lower him into enemy fortifications so that an attack could begin from the inside. Well, I'm happy to say there seems to be a revival and growing interest in kite making.
Okay, that's the end of test 7.
That is the end of part 4. You now have 1 minute to check your answers to part.
Okay. Any questions so for listening, for the listening part?
No.
Okay, it's the same strategy that we have been following throughout that 8 past sessions, which is to concentrate on the keywords before or after the blank there, and try to listen for synonyms. Also, take care or be mindful for the transitional words, particularly words that refer to a result. So more or less the same strategy that we have been doing. Okay, now we move to the speaking part. Arts and science. Okay, sorry, I think we're doing unit 6, not 7. Culture. look at the photo and answer these questions. Let's have a look at this photo. And to what extent do buildings reflect the culture of a country? To what extent do buildings reflect the culture of a country? How important is that to keep all the buildings? Which buildings are famous in your country? And how can we keep traditional buildings and still make progress? How many people do we have in this session? Let me check, please. Okay, for Ala, you are going to do the first question, which is to what extent do buildings reflect the culture of a country? That's for Ala. And Malik, how important is that to keep all the buildings? Letter B. Malik, we'll discuss that. Mayar, which buildings are famous in your country? Mayar, which buildings are famous in your country? And letter D will be with Yusuf, which is how can we keep traditional buildings and still make progress? Clear? Okay. Take like a minute, then I listen to you.
Can I say one building or do I say multiple ones?
You can speak about more than one. It's okay, no problem.
So I'm waiting for my turn. Hopefully everyone else is ready.
Okay, let me check who is ready. If you are ready to start your talk, raise your hand. Okay, I'll start with Malik, then Yusuf. Malik, okay, go ahead.
So for how important is it to keep all buildings? I think it's like important because sometimes all building can reflect cultures or like old cultures and history of a country. So by keeping them, it's still like evidence of the past and the culture of your country.
Okay, good job. Yusuf.
Okay, so we can keep traditional buildings and still make progress since I completely agree with that statement. Since there are many buildings that still follow the traditional path, but are still using modern technology. It's kind of a mix, or in better terms, a hybrid between the modern age and tradition. Because no one can leave tradition easily, as it has been passed down for thousands upon thousands of years. So I would definitely recommend using hybrid building schematics when you are trying to build a house, to combine between heritage, culture, and the modern age, because you're not going to live in a European building made in the 16th century, but you are going to live in a modest home with culture and many rooms that symbolize the past while containing the modern age and the present. So I would also like to answer number B.
No, that's enough for you. Here we listen to you. Let's have another person before B. who was going, it was, I think Malik was handling B. Okay, you handle B. Okay, do you have a comment for Malik's answer? Okay, if you have something to say about letter B, go ahead.
Okay, but Malik's answer was good. In short, Ielts likes prolonged answers that don't just feel like someone is speaking too much.
That's
So
fine.
I recommend he prolong his answer. Other than that, his answer is good.
Okay, Yusuf, thank you. What about the other Ala? Ala and
Can I go
Mayor?
next?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Firstly, I'll be speaking about the Great Pyramid of Giza. At its simplest, this is a massive stone tomb built over 4,500 years ago for the pharaoh Khufu. It's the oldest and largest of the 3 pyramids at Giza, and the only surviving structure of the original 7 wonders of the ancient world. But when you look closer, the engineering behind it is incredibly advanced, even by today's standards. And I would like to talk about the new Library of Alexandria.
Yes.
It's a modern architectural masterpiece opened in 2002 to commemorate the legendary ancient library lost over 1,500 years ago.
Okay, it's perfect. If you were going to choose just one landmark to speak about, which one would you go with?
The pyramids.
The pyramid. Why do you think it's the most important thing in Egypt?
Well, I think it's because it's way older and it attracts more tourists.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Then we move to Ala.
Yes. People love exploring and traveling all over the world. So keeping buildings for sure reflect the culture of the country. By seeing ancient buildings, it reflects how much the country is ancient and how and the amount of its culture and how the people lived on it over years and years. So, and it extended how many years? Based on that, yes, buildings clearly as it shows how those people lived and what they did and how do they think and what do they believe in. So keeping buildings reflects the culture, reflect the country, reflect the people living in it, and give you a big picture, the whole picture of how this country is, and clearly how who is this country and who are the people living in it.
Okay, good job. Thank you very much for that. That's good in a way. But still, my advice for every person: please try to write down notes. That if you write down notes, that will help you generate ideas and find ideas to express. You can write notes. Even if you like to write that in Arabic, that's acceptable. If you find that still a little bit like a kind of burden for you to write in English, you can write your notes in Arabic, no problem with that. If you can do it in English, that's better. If you can write your notes in English, that's really better. If you cannot, you still find it like a burden for you to find the ideas, you can write your notes in Arabic and express about that in English. Okay, let's move on to the second exercise. That's a piece of a cake for you. It's very easy for you to do. To simply form questions. We have a set of words and we need to put them in order to form a question. Are buildings how modern, popular in your country? Why? Starting with how. Let's form a question. How can we form a question here? What can we say? We need to put the words in the correct order to form a question.
Modern.
How
popular
popular
are
are
modern buildings in your
modern
country?
buildings
In your country.
in your country? So can you write this question, please? Can you write that in your book? Question number 1 is, we will need these questions later, by the way. So I recommend if you write them down. How popular is modern buildings in your country? What about the second question?
Why maybe is
the
is the architecture
is the architecture
here is the same as in your country, in your home country?
home country. Is the architecture here the same as in your home country? Okay. Traditional, you do prefer or modern architecture?
Do you prefer
Yes. Do you prefer
traditional or modern architecture, and why?
Do you prefer modern
Or traditional? It
or
doesn't care if you switch
no problem.
traditional or not.
Modern or traditional buildings?
Yeah.
Was it buildings?
Yeah. Architecture, like I said.
Do you prefer modern or traditional architecture, and why? Okay. Question 4. Who can
Which
form a
which kind
which kind
of buildings i- i- which kind of observable is there ممكن
is there
any
any
kind of building or building kind
what about the word of?
which you don't like? Which you don't like?
What about of?
Oh, kind of buildings which you don't like. Kind of
Again.
building. I said again?
Yes.
All right. Is there any kind of building which you don't like?
Is there any kind of buildings which you don't like? Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any
I hate
kind
it, but this is not my part, so no.
Buildings which you do not like, and why? Okay, then you buildings special have of significance any do in your country. Mayar, Ala, Malik.
It's literally Yusuf plus Yusuf plus Yusuf.
It's an easy task for you. We are just forming questions because we'll discuss them later.
Do you?
Do you?
Have.
Do you have?
Buildings of significance. Any buildings of significance in your country?
Again.
do you have any special buildings of significance in your country?
Do you have any
Special
special
buildings of
building?
significance in your country?
Okay. Do you have any special buildings of significance? Do you have any special buildings of significance in your country? Then
Get the page for question 6.
for letter F.
Has the type of building changed since you were a child?
Yes, has the type of buildings changed? Has the type of buildings changed since you were child? And the last question.
All right, I'll choose the last question because literally everyone is either dead or asleep.
Building kinds of what appeal to you most?
What kind of buildings have appeal to you? Yeah.
Okay. What kind of buildings appeal to you most? Okay, these are the questions, the 7 questions we have formed. We need to find the answers for these questions from the following exercises, exercises 3 and 4. Again, the questions that we have just formed, we're gonna have or find the answers for them from exercise 3 and exercise 4. Let me do the first one for you as an example, then you will do the rest. The first question was here, how popular is modern buildings in your country? How popular is modern buildings in your country? I'd say they are very much in fashion at the moment because high buildings, again, how popular is modern buildings in your country? Okay, because high buildings make me dizzy, I prefer buildings with 3 or 4 stories. Again, it will be something like that. The question was, how popular is modern buildings in your country? And my question, I said, I'd say, sorry, it's not one. I'd say they are very much in fashion at the moment as new houses are appearing everywhere and all the houses are being pulled down. That's my answer. I'd say they are very much in fashion at the moment as new houses are appearing everywhere and all the houses are being pulled down. Clear for you? Okay, I'm going to have how many questions do we have? I think there are 6 questions. We have formed 6 questions. So let's have each one of you to do one. Ala, you will do the second question. Ala, you will find the answer for the second question. Yusuf, the third question, and Malik, the fourth question.
How the hell did my camera open?
It was on. I do not know how it was on. For sure, you have turned it on. Again.
I did not even touch my phone. How?
I do not know. Again, Ala, you will do the second question. For Yusuf, and Malik, the third. Ala, second question. Malik, third question, and Yusuf, fourth question. Is the architecture here the same as in your home country? What would you say?
There are a lot like the Parthenon.
Do you have the book in your hand, or you are just following me from the screen?
Following you from the screen, not gonna lie.
Yes.
If you don't have the book in your hands, we're going to skip this question and move on to the second one, the next one. Okay. Malik, would you like to say something for your question? Do you prefer modern or traditional architecture and why?
Can you show the questions?
They were the same like Ala. Okay, we move on to Yusuf. Yusuf, do you have the book in your hand or following only from the screen?
I'm following from the screen, but I can answer the questions.
Okay, so we move to exercise 60 here. You may be asked to talk about the preference. We need to fill in the blanks using these words, and these words we use them to express our preferences. We use these expressions, the words, to express our preference. The words are hate, adore, would rather, prefer, stand, appeal, and dislike. If you would like to express your preference, you can use any of these expressions. So let's do them. For number one, Ala, go ahead, reading number one, question one, or sentence one, sorry. I don't.
I don't hate.
Okay, I can say, can you just read the complete sentence?
Yes. I don't hate modern architecture, but I do think that there are many examples that are very ugly.
Okay, whether you use hate or dislike, both are okay here. I don't dislike or I don't hate modern architecture, but I think that there are many examples that are very ugly. Letter B, Malik.
So I live in town than in the countryside. I would rather.
I'd rather, yes. I'd rather live in town than in the countryside. Yusuf.
All right. I am fond of old family houses, but I much prefer, or would, but I would rather, I would prefer much more. It's the correct answer.
I prefer. It's only no would. I prefer much. I prefer much more modern ones.
If you delete much more,
there's no need to delete. We are just filling in the blanks here using the words from the box. So we choose here prefer. I prefer much more modern ones.
I chose prefer already.
We do not choose prefer. That's only letter C. I prefer. Okay. For letter B, it was would rather. For letter C, it's prefer. So it's okay here. For letter D, I can't all the films except for early comedies. Ala.
I can't stand. I can't stand all films.
I hate. I can't stand all films except for early comedies. Malik, books to me as much as music. Appeal to me. Yusuf, while some people simply the theater, I'm indifferent to it.
While some people simply like or adore the theater, I'm indifferent to it.
Where the word like?
Adore.
Yes, adore. While some people simply adore the theater, I am indifferent to it.
Yeah, adore is a synonym to like, so it's adore.
Okay. I don't literature suggests that I don't have much time for reading. So for that last one, it's either hate or dislike. I don't hate or I don't dislike literature, it's just that I don't have much time for reading. Okay, Express your preferences here. Which do you prefer? Contemporary books or classic literature? That's for Ala. For Malik, which do you prefer? Played in the theater or outdoor drama? And Yusuf, do you prefer films on DVD or films in the cinema?
صدقني نمبر سي انا ولا بحب ده ولا بحب ده.
Okay, can talk more about both. Yeah, Yusuf, we'll start with Yusuf, listening to you.
Okay, so I'll go with my question. First of all, I do not prefer DVDs because they are difficult to use. Because one scratch and your whole movie it's gone or replaced with a file. I don't know, but the same with cinema. It's really expensive. So either I watch the movie at home or I don't watch it at all because I hate both, and I'm not going to change my opinion about such things. Rather, for why I hate them, it is because of either difficulty of or expenses. For if they would change the price for cinema movies, I would prefer to go to the cinema because the price right now to eat during the 2 hour movie is expensive. And I'm not going to starve myself for 2 hours when I haven't even ate a single meal because I only eat one meal a day, by the way.
Okay, thanks a lot, but take care when you use present perfect or use past participle. I haven't eaten, not I haven't eaten. Okay, take care of that.
All right.
Okay, then we move to Ala. Contemporary books or classic literature, which do you prefer?
Enjoying our free time at the most preferred time in our day. Classic literature help us to understand the past and how the people lived before us, and what did they do, and what they believe in, and how were they thinking. And contemporary books help us to understand the surrounding and to understand ourselves and how we think. What should we do? But I prefer the most classical literature because I would never live in the past. So I would take the history and would take the story and would take the wise I need and the advice without living their life again. So we could read to learn and to know and to help ourselves to be the better version of ourselves and to live better.
Good job, Ala. I think you told me that you are majoring in English literature, isn't that, or English language, maybe? Ala, did you tell me that you are majoring in English literature or studying English at university or something like that?
No, not me. I still in the secondary school.
Or still secondary school, okay. I thought you are the person who is studying English literature, because if you were the person who is studying English literature, I'd expect you to give examples I'd expect you to give examples. Examples like what? For those who studied English literature, works of who is that? Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens, this is one of the best people who portrayed or showed the English society during the Industrial Revolution. So I expected to speak about specific examples through studying literature. But anyway, because you're still doing secondary school, so you do not have enough information about that. But anyway, my advice for you is try to give examples. Even in Arabic, you could talk about the classic literature of Naguib Mahfouz and how he portrayed the Egyptian society at a specific part.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we move on to Malik. Played in the theater or outdoor drama?
So I would rather watch plays in the theater because I think the atmosphere is more exciting. The actors are closer to the audience, the sound is clearer, and I can enjoy the performance without worrying about the weather. Like, yes, outdoor drama can be fun and everything if the weather is good, but sometimes it may be hot or like it's raining, so it can ruin the fun.
Okay. When was the last time you went for a theater or to watch a play or drama?
When I was a kid.
When you were a kid, still a kid. Okay. Read these diaries written by the same person and answer questions. We need to read these diaries by the same person, then we will answer the questions. Before we answer the questions, let's read the diaries. Yusuf, can you read aloud?
Okay, sure. Met Ken in town, 11
That's
a.m.
Saturday, 16 March.
Yeah, sure. At
At
2:30.
11 o'clock, what happens? Meet Ken?
Golf in town, coffee.
No, at 2:30.
Golf with David at club.
At 7:30.
Cinema, Pirates of the Caribbean 2. Meet the girls at 7 in the usual place. This game was
Okay, my
good.
question for all of you here. Why do you think the person wrote this diary? What do you think?
To remember?
To remember what?
I don't know.
Okay, if that person was a candidate doing Ielts, what do you think? Suppose that he was a candidate doing Ielts. What's his relation between these notes and a candidate doing Ielts?
It would be more specific.
Specified? I do not know.
That was like written notes for him to answer or address a question. Maybe he was asked a question and he wrote down these notes to help him give better speech. What happened on Saturday, the 16th March? Okay, the same person wrote the notes in another way. Malik is going to read it. Read it aloud.
Ken was delayed.
Delayed?
1 second. Ken was delayed, and so did shopping at the market. Met him for lunch. He paid. Big rush to get the club in time. David had brought Bill and Charlotte. We all played. I need a lot more practice. Only Janet arrived for the movie, so we went to see Snakes and Plane instead. Great fun, probably better than Pirates, I imagine.
Okay, what are the differences between the two diaries? Ala, what are the differences between the two diaries?
The one on the left is more short, and it's like taking notes. It's not elaborated, and it's not giving details. It's for remembering or to do something. It has a purpose. And on the right side, it's more elaborated, and it has details of what he did and what he should do and how was his day. It was like an answering for a question. That's it.
Good job. Yusuf, for letter C. Is it better to make detailed plans for the future or to leave some things to chance?
Leave some things to chance because you
Why?
never know what's going to go wrong, what you're gonna do. So I try to leave everything into the past. I just wing my life, and somehow I'm one of the most successful people I know.
And what's the disadvantages of planning ahead?
You could, for example, get delayed, and this could, for example, cause burnout, tiredness, and more. Like, for example, what happened to me when I tried to study German all at once, no breaks. I dreaded the lesson pretty fast, and basically, it gave me burnout and tiredness until I quit and said I'll listen to podcasts on my own pace instead of trying to plan ahead.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
You can.
It can put you on an anxiety, and you'll have so much stress on being on the time and appointments you have decided to. So it maybe give the person who planned on stress that he can't hold it a longer time.
Good job, Muhammad. But how long have you been with us? I haven't noticed you.
I joined from like 20 minutes.
Oh, you have just joined us. Okay. Thank you for that. Then we move on to the next or the following exercise. Okay, here we have like hobbies, golf, ice hockey, chess, stamp collecting, meeting friends, tennis, gardening, going to concert, going to parties, chatting on the phone, football, shopping. If you were going to choose one of these activities, which one will be your favorite, like to pass your time? Which one of these hobbies will be your favorite to pass your time?
Gardening. I know
Gardening.
I'm a bit boring,
Chess.
but I
Okay,
completely agree.
I'm going to listen to all of you, but we'll start with Yusuf. Yusuf, it shows gardening. Okay, can you elaborate on that?
Okay, I know it's a bit boring, and you think I'm the most boring person here, and it's true. I don't mind. But look, gardening just has its own benefits. Like, I would rather go gardening than go ice hockey or whatever you would choose. Shopping would cost a lot of money, and I would rather do something for free and grow my food at home rather than going to the grocery store or the store in general and wasting all of my money like it's nothing. I'd rather grow my food at home, organic, and I know the source. No chemicals that added or chemical adhesives that would actually cause any real harm. I know I sound like a person that doesn't eat processed food, but processed food is just like yogurt. Is a processed food like chips is called ultra processed food, and it's not even that bad because some chemicals help you stay healthy in general, but I don't trust all my sources, and I would rather eat regular processed food rather than ultra processed food. So at least I know the source and I can trust the meal I am eating.
Okay, thanks for your answer. But here you are more talking about growing your own food than talking about gardening.
Because gardening is about growing my own food.
Okay. Then I move on to Ala.
Yes.
Mm.
I'd like to waste my time on meeting friends to meet them because I like to stay home. So it's like I'm leaving my comfortable zone. So I feel like I'm tasting other thing which is literally not normal in my day, and I love spending time alone, so it will be more more sociable and make me talk and move and this way better. So meeting friends will make us communicate and talk and help us to be more healthier and refreshing and helping us with any problem. We can solve it together or talk about it, which will make me have more mental health and help me to feel better.
Okay, thank you very much for that good answer, but try to avoid double comparative. We said more healthier. More healthier is a double comparative because he used the word more and the ER, and that doesn't work in English, so take care of the double comparatives. Okay?
Okay.
Malik.
So I would choose chess or meet friends, but I would like go for chess since I enjoy chess and I've been learning it lately. So some matches can improve my skills and both enjoy it. And
You play chess?
also I like choose chess over meeting friends since I'm kind of lazy and barely go outside.
Okay, now we're going to listen to 3 speakers expressing their the activities they prefer to do in their free time. We will listen to them and we need to fill in the blanks. We'll listen to them and we need to fill in the blanks here, okay? I space listening to music, I gardening. Listen to the speakers and try to fill in the blanks.
Unit 4, page 36. Speaking skills, exercise 12. A. Sarah has lots of imagination and ideas. I can't imagine.
It's not one. That's not.
Aren't we in the speaking?
Yes. To the second part.
Unit 9, page 76.
It's not that one. Which track is that? 2.2.
Unit 7, page 61. Exam listening.
That's it.
Unit 6, page 50. Speaking skills, exercise 4. 1. What do you like doing in your free time, Charlotte?
I like listening to music and going to the cinema, but my favourite thing of all is going to the theatre.
Why do you like that best?
What attracts me most is that it is live. It is that these people have come to this place on this day to perform for us. That's the great thing about theatre.
2. What do you like doing in your free time, Deborah?
I enjoy being outdoors, but best of all I like gardening.
Gardening?
Yes. One thing I like about gardening is that I can do it at home. And the other thing is that I can give a lot or a little time to it. Also, I can do it for fun or competitively. The thing I like most is growing vegetables. and entering them in competitions. But some years, I only have a little time, and then I do it for fun, for enjoyment only.
3. What do you like doing in your free time, Edward?
I like sports in general. I find them relaxing. Best of all, I like rugby.
You find rugby relaxing?
Yes, I really find it relaxing. You see, I work very hard all week at a desk in an office, and in my free time, I like doing something completely different.
Okay. We'll listen to it again and fill in the missing blanks.
Unit 6, page 50. Speaking skills. Exercise 4. 1. What do you like doing in your free time, Charlotte?
I like listening to music and going to the cinema, but my favourite thing of all is going to the theatre.
Why do you like that best?
What attracts me most is that it is live. It is that these people have come to this place on this day to perform for us. That's the great thing about theatre.
2. What do you like doing in your free time, Deborah?
I enjoy being outdoors, but best of all I like gardening.
Gardening?
Yes. One thing I like about gardening is that I can do it at home. And the other thing is that I can give a lot or a little time to it. Also, I can do it for fun or competitively. The thing I like most is growing vegetables and entering them in competitions. But some years, I only have a little time, and then I do it for fun, for enjoyment only.
3. What do you like doing in your free time, Edward?
I like sports in general. I find them relaxing. Best of all, I like rugby.
You find rugby relaxing?
Yes, I really find it relaxing. You see, I work very hard all week at a desk in an office, and in my free time, I like doing something completely different.
Okay, let's fill in the missing words here in the blanks according to what we heard in this conversation. I listening to music. What do you think the missing word is?
Love.
I like. And for the second one?
Like.
Also, I like gardening. I like gardening.
Or love.
My thing of all is going to theater.
Favorite.
My favorite, yes. My favorite thing. Best of, I like gardening. Best of all, yes, good job. What me is that?
Well, attraction.
What attracts me? What attracts me most maybe is that. What attracts me most is that. I can do it. For fun, yes. Or
competitively.
Competitively, yes. It relaxing.
Find it?
Find. I find it. Thing I gardening is that.
The thing is, I like. The thing is.
The thing I find interesting. The thing I find interesting
that
about gardening is that. The thing I find interesting about gardening is that. And other is that I can.
And the other thing is that I can.
And the other interesting thing maybe. The other interesting thing is that.
But we are going to fill in one word because this will not be able to carry two words.
We are here to learn expressions to express our preference.
Sure.
That's the purpose of this exercise. The other thing I find interesting is that I can. The other thing I find interesting is that. That's think about it. That's the most
interesting.
Interesting. Think about it. Okay. Exercise 7 is more important than the past exercise. It's dealing with unfamiliar topics. What if you were asked a question in Ielts that you do not have enough information about? What if you were asked about cookery and you do not cook? Or you were asked about playing musical instruments and you are not fan of music? How would you handle that?
I would say I don't know and move on.
Let's learn expressions to use. Let's learn expressions to use. How to handle unfamiliar topics from exercise 8. We'll do exercise 8. We're going to match sentences from 1 to 4 with letters from A to D. And from them, we can learn expressions to use or to address unfamiliar topics if we were asked that kind of questions. Okay? So, are you able to play musical instruments? Which one would you choose, A, B, C, or D? Are you able to play any musical instruments?
A.
A. I'm afraid I have absolutely no skill in this area at all, but I might learn in the future. Simply too expensive to live on fast food. Not A. It's not A.
B. مش أحمد يبقى الحاج أحمد.
We can check that. Are you able to play musical instruments?
Is it 1B?
No, we're still doing 1. We're looking for the right answer, the suitable answer for 1.
D.
It's letter D. I wish I could. Are you able to play musical instruments? I wish I could. My parents made me take lessons when I was very young, but I just made a terrible noise and they let me give it up. I don't think I have any ability in that direction. Do you have any artistic abilities?
That's C.
Unfortunately not.
C?
I have very little practical ability, okay? And things like that are difficult for me. I tried when I was at school, but without success. What sort of food do you enjoy cooking and eating?
A.
What sort? I'm afraid I have absolutely no skill in this area at all, but I might learn in the future. It's simply too expensive to live on fast food. Which game did you enjoy playing?
B.
B.
That's not something I normally do. That's not something I normally do. I probably used it too when I was a lot younger, but my life is very busy now. So we have learned now expressions like I'm afraid I have absolutely no skill in this area at all, but in the future I will. That's not something I normally do. Unfortunately not. These are expressions to use, or I wish I could. These are expressions we learn to use to handle or address unfamiliar topics if we were asked them in Ielts. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going for Ala. Ala, are you interested in drawing? And for Malik, do you like singing? And Yusuf, can you dance? And Muhammad,
I do not dance. Switch up my
I'm going to listen to you. For Muhammad, are you good at making things? Just be ready to share your answers or your thoughts with us.
You're giving me the one thing I would even hate to speak about.
Okay,
Really?
that's the point. You can use the expressions we have just learned.
Alright, I'm going to try. Oh,
Who is ready? Who is ready?
Anyone?
Okay, Yusuf.
Basically, I to the extent of my will, 100% I hate dancing because I'm not really the person who's shaking it off like I have some kind of fungus on my back, but really I'm just the kind of person known to chill and mostly calm. I said mostly because sometimes I'm really angry and I cannot control myself. But I try to be calm and I see dancing as an uncivilized, barbaric tradition. It's not barbaric, but yeah, it's that in my mind. And I think I am the only person like that since everyone around me liked it, but I don't care. It's good to have a different opinion than anyone else.
Okay, thank you very much. Then we move to Malik.
Okay, so no, I don't have any skills in singing. Since whenever I sing anything, whether it's Arabic or English, I usually like my voice changes and become like high pitched, which sounds terrible. So I'm not the kind of person to be a good singer.
Okay, Alaa.
Yes, I was interested when I was a child in drawing. My parents made me take lessons to perform well, but a terrible drawings was drawn in my sketch. So I gave up very easily. I wish I didn't. Having passion and patience to learn something is very expensive skills, which we don't, don't have. All of us don't appreciate them well and giving them their values. So having passion and patience could make me learn how to draw, and it would make me the one who drew very well and give you a picture of how the feelings is and to express my feelings and expressions in a better way and in a way different. So I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't. That's it.
Good job. Okay, Muhammad Tamer.
Yes, I did crafts before. I used to do crafts like the art called the decoupage. It's a French art made with the wood. It's a type of a specific wood that can be mixed with a type of water and some other mixtures, and you can stick a photo on it and it will merge and make a masterpiece of wood. It was very famous the last 3 years, but I stopped in that field, and I am now doing a dictionary, like making cases, designs, and notebooks, and doing a lot of the decoupage, but as a hobby, not as a job.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Good job. Now we're moving to exercise 13. Listen to the sentences on the recording and fill in the gaps with like or would like. We need to decide whether the speaker said like or would like. Before we do exercise 13, let's get back to exercise 12. I need someone to read the first sentence aloud. Yusuf, can you read the first sentence aloud?
I'd like to try a new hobby.
Yes, I'd like to try a new hobby. What about the second one?
I like to visit the dentist twice a year.
I like to visit the dentist twice a year. Here, the first sentence was I'd like, but here I like. And for C, I like listening to rock.
Listening to rock music.
Okay, now we'll listen to a speaker and we need to decide whether he said like or would like.
Unit 6, page 52. Speaking skills. Exercise 13. A. I like to have coffee at 11. B.
I'd like to have coffee at 11.
C. I'd like to redecorate my house to make it look beautiful. D.
I like to redecorate my house to make it look beautiful.
E. I'd like to get up early. F.
I like to get up early.
What do you think?
The first one with the blank eye, it was I like only. He didn't say
I like. What about letter B?
Letter B, it was I'd like to have
Yes, I'd like. And for letter C?
It's also I'd like.
I'd like. For letter D?
No, it's a blank eye.
Like. For letter D, it was like. And for letter E?
I'd like.
I'd like.
I'd like. And the last one?
Like.
It was
Like.
only like. Okay. Complete the dialogue using the correct form of like or would like, then practice with a dialogue. Let's do it together. We will have Yusuf and Malik. Yusuf will be David and Malik will be Susan.
Do you take golf lessons to improve your game?
Oh yes, I'd love to. I love to take lessons if I have the time.
Like or would like?
Like.
I like to. Yes, I like.
The ed part is
I like
if
to
you
take lessons if I have the time, but I playing the games even more.
I'd like. I would like.
I'd like playing.
No, I would like. I'd like.
Okay, I believe the first one was I would like. I'd like to. I'd like to take lessons is if I have the time, but I like playing the game even more.
Do you have any ambition in golf?
Yes, I like to win the annual championship at my club.
I like to win the annual. I like or I'd like.
I would like. I'd like.
I'd like to win the annual championship at my club. Okay, by now we have come to the end of our session. Okay. I can give you exercise 11 as homework. Do you have any hobbies? How and why did you first involved in this activity? And how do you recommend it to another person?
I think you should send it on the group because Yusuf left early without listening to the homework.
No problem. Anyway, so you can record yourselves talking about your hobbies. How and why did you first get involved in this activity, and how would you recommend it to another person? Okay?
Okay.
For next session, which will be on Wednesday, in fact, we will not have a session on Wednesday because I'm busy at that time. So our next session will be on next Saturday, and it will be the last session, by the way.